Preparing a company for an IPO is a bit like getting your house in order before you throw a dinner party. You need to tidy up, make sure all your dishes are plated well. You get the drift. The idea is ultimately to leave your guests impressed. And yesterday, Swiggy threw the biggest dinner party for an internet company this year. It wanted to raise more than $1 billion through its public offering, and it listed at an 8% premium over its IPO price of 390 rupees on the National Stock Exchange or NSE. The company listed at 420 rupees and was oversubscribed by nearly 4 times. While it is a little too early to comment, investors are not making strong bets on it yet. Just to give you context, when Zomato went public, its IPO was oversubscribed by 38 times. Now, this could be because Swiggy is still posting losses on a consolidated level and is expected to be about 2 to 3 years away from hitting profitability. It took the company 9 years till its food delivery business arm turned profitable. So today, I'm going to take you back to revisit an episode of Daybreak in which we had spoken about what happened behind the scenes of Swiggy's IPO preparation. Welcome to Daybreak, a business podcast from the Ken. I'm your host Nigdha Sharma, and I don't chase the news cycle. Instead, every day of the week, my colleague Rahel Philippos and I will come to you with one business story that is worth understanding and worth your time. Today is Thursday, the 14th of November. Targets, targets, targets. It's all about daily, weekly, and monthly targets in Swiggy offices right now. For example, on the revenue side, category teams have been given larger targets like increasing orders and average order value or improving the market share on a city level. And then there are other sub targets. And this time, the leadership is way more involved with meeting these targets. An employee of Swiggy spoke to my colleague, the Ken reporter Ayush Agarwal, and they told him that now vice president and senior vice president level bosses are handling things that used to be earlier taken care of by those who were at the business head level. And how does this help? The idea basically is to close any pending or new matters stuck due to lack of coordination faster by quickly aligning their respective teams. For employees, this means there is little or no room for error. In fact, another employee told us that in some cities, especially where Zomato is big, teams have been pulled up for underperformance for a 3-hour dinner slot. Earlier, this wasn't even being done for the entire day's performance. In the last 7 or 8 months, some employees have also been nudged to quit by being put on performance improvement plans. And then there is cost cutting, of course. Swiggy is making no compromises there. From discounts and delivery partners onboarding and payouts, it's all being reduced monthly to the magic number that will help the company become profitable by March 2024. And not just that, the cost cutting is also reflecting in appraisals. There were no hikes at Swiggy for the director and above levels and far fewer promotions. One of the employees that we spoke to on the condition of anonymity told us this. He is a mid-senior level employee. In his category, the hikes were in single digits at best, which has never happened, not even in the pandemic years. Another area where Swiggy is tidying up before the IPO dinner party is how it is handling attrition. The need for hiring for vacant posts is being scrutinized at a much deeper level. There now needs to be a business critical justification for hiring. For example, the key responsibility areas or KRAs of vacant roles are now clubbed under existing roles across the organization, which means increasing deliverables for existing employees. So now you might want to ask, who was the one directing all of this from behind the scenes? Stay tuned to find out. In August 2022, Swiggy hired Rohit Kapoor as the CEO of its food and marketplaces business. He came from Oyo, which is another SoftBank backed unicorn, and he has a reputation of being a tough taskmaster known for his execution style. He has a solid sales background. So, in the first 8 months of joining, he revamped teams and responsibilities in his division. And most importantly, he was the one who, along with other leadership, carried out the laying off of 6% of Swiggy's workforce, which was around 400 employees. And as rough as it may sound, this is actually what played a significant role in making Swiggy's food delivery business achieve profitability. And then Swiggy took things up a notch. In April this year, Swiggy, which handles over 1.5 million orders per day, introduced a platform fee of 2 rupees for customers. And then it increased it by another rupee. So basically, 3 rupees in total. Fun fact, also, Zomato started charging a similar fee after Swiggy started doing it. Talking about Zomato, there is one thing that Swiggy should have learned from it way before, but thankfully, finally, it has decided to pick up the ball on it now. That is its relationship with its restaurant partners. Zomato has always focused on it. One of the Swiggy employees that we spoke to told us, and I'm quoting him, "We know from our conversations with marquee brands that they, that is Zomato, for 2 to 3 years had direct conversations or lunches with Zomato CEO Dipinder Goyal." End quote. Swiggy, on the other hand, would have their area sales managers do this job. Kapoor wanted this to change for Swiggy. So, one of the employees told us that lately the management has been meeting up with the top restaurant owners and associations in Bangalore. He said that there is encouragement from the leadership at Swiggy to have more such virtual catch ups, restaurant visits, and participation in distributor forums for partners. Even the sales teams at the company are working more closely with restaurant partners to understand and solve their issues. And this is especially important because with the IPO coming and their profitability goal, Swiggy cannot afford promotional spending and they also cannot push costs onto the customers, especially after introducing the platform fee. Also, before I wrap this up, we need to remember that the food delivery business and even the grocery business is a low margins one. So, if they don't solve these issues with their restaurant partners, then ultimately these costs will be passed on to you and I, the customers. Hello, I just wanted to let you know that there is no Daybreak Unwind today because we've barely been receiving any recommendations from you guys on WhatsApp, and Rahil and I are taking a quick break to figure out how to make the segment much, much, much better for you guys. We'll be back soon.
Daybreak is produced from the newsroom of The Ken, India's first subscriber-focused business news platform. What you're listening to is just a small sample of our subscriber-only offerings. A full subscription unlocks daily long-form feature stories, newsletters, and podcast extras. To subscribe, head to theken.com and click on the red subscribe button on top of the Ken website. Today's episode was hosted by Snigdha Sharma and edited by Rajiv CN.